heat drying was not the future, okay, then why are the two biggest manufacturers who make dehumidifiers, all their DUs operate now between 70 and 120 degrees, right? And if heat wasn't a factor in drying, then from now for another year, you're not allowed to use heat to dry your clothes. You're not, tell your wives and girlfriends they're not allowed to use their blow dryers in the morning, and you're not allowed to use heat when you have the defrost or when you have frost on the windows. See, outside of our industry, we use heat all the time, right? Heat the clothes. Now, your wives and girlfriends, they don't take the blow dryer and heat the bathroom to dry their hair. They take the heat and apply it to their hair, right? And then when we have frost on the windows of the cars during the wintertime, do you heat the car first? No. We always put the defroster on, right? And we direct the heat right to the glass. So direct heat is being used all over the place. We just need to apply it in our industry. And the way we dry is not wrong. It's just slow. Now, to increase the evaporation rate, we need to increase the temperature of the water, not the air. So what we're going to talk about today is how to maximize the use of the ETES SD. We also have the Pramac generator. This is a trailer-mounted generator. It has a 100-gallon onboard diesel tank that can run up to 8 ETES units, 10 air movers, and inject a dry mat system, or 60 air movers and 12 DUs, because power is always an issue. So that's a 40 kW generator. And again, your local Interlink Supply or CRW affiliation or distribution center can help you with that. And then finally, the test unit itself. This test unit is actually a boiler system and heats a glycol solution. It heats the glycol that goes through the red hose, into the gray box, through the blue hose, and all it's doing is flowing with hot fluid. The air mover grabs the heat, transfers the heat to where you want it to go. So if you want to heat the room, you can do it. If you want to tent the floor, direct it, contain it, do whatever you want, that's fine. The way our boxes are made, we're not just trying to heat the air, we're trying to get the heat to the water, and that's why we call it direct heat drying. The test unit can operate outside at minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit, rain, snow, it still operates on its own. Very, very quiet, so the homeowners will not hear it, or you can have it trailer mounted. Now, let's talk about actual drying. Let's get into the science of it. Let's say your master bedroom is 75 degrees, okay? So the ambient air is 75 degrees. The temperature of the wet walls, the wet materials, let's say, well, it's wet, right? So it's going to be cooler, so it's about 65 degrees. And then what happens, we've been taught we put an air mover every 10, 12 feet, and we blow the air against the wet material. What do you think happens to the temperature then? It cools down, right? So what happens to your evaporation rate? You're right, it slows down. And then we wonder why it's taken so long. See, as long as the temperature of the wet material is cool, your evaporation rate is slow. So here in this picture, we're floating the carpet. And we're going to show you in the S500, it doesn't say that we should not float carpet. It actually tells us by partial or soft floating, the carpet acts as an insulation blanket and keeps the heat where the water is. Now, the hardest part to dry in a wet structure is always the sill plates, right? So here's the baseboard, the drywall. We're floating the carpet, and look where all my heat is. You're right on the sill plates. And the temperature is 103 degrees. So do you think at 103 degrees the water is going to want to come out of the material? Absolutely. Now, 75% of our jobs are wet from the floor up. So from here to here, 2 feet up the wall, is wet. From here to the ceiling is dry. So why are we worried about drying the whole environment? Let's just get the heat to the water.